So one of the things that we're doing is we're asking viewers, watchers, and readers to submit questions as part of what we call Your Voice Matters. And so I did that. I asked people, hey, what would you like to hear from the incoming sheriff in Jacksonville? So I want to give you a couple of those. Robin Senazol asked, since JSO's current approach clearly is not working, what specifically do you plan to change to reduce the violent crime wave?
There's a real, we have to focus heavily on how we patrol in our streets. We have to realign our zones. We haven't done that in many years. We have to look at our population of our city and place our manpower in those places. Logistically, we have to make sure that we're putting our people in the right places. We have to get closer to our community, work in smaller sections of town, get closer to our community, because in my 10 years in homicide that I spent there, I knew that we can't solve crimes without our community support and help. So we have to grow closer to our community. By doing that, getting closer, working in smaller sections, we can get more accomplished that way.
So I think it's similar, but Robert wrote in and said, Jacksonville's been through many sheriffs. None seem to have made a difference in crime. Why are you any different, or why are these policies any different?
Since I can speak for my 30 years there, we've seen ups and downs, ebbs and flows. I do know that we focus heavily on the individuals that we know are involved in violent crime, and we're going to continue to do that. We're going to use our technology, where technology has gone to a point where it's never been before. Our ShotSpotter, our ballistics databases, all those things we're going to use in conjunction with how we patrol our streets, how we engage our community, to make sure we come up with a solid plan to make sure the members of this community are safe.
I saw this question. I thought, I bet you'll like hearing this. Thomas Frazier wrote in and said he wants to know, what can the citizens of Duval County do to aid you in reducing crime?
Oh, it's beautiful. I think the best thing that they can do is engage with us as we try to engage back. Let's talk. Let's be partners. Let's form a real advocacy for one another. I think we are ready to do that. I'm ready to move forward. And if you see something, let's talk about it. Tell us about it so we can address it, because we can't do it unless people talk to us about it.
Walt Bunso and Christy Arnold, they both have questions about traffic control. So that includes speeding and running red lights. One of them says it's like the wild, wild west in Jacksonville. The other viewer is saying, what are you going to do about the speeding cars on the highways as well as in neighborhoods? Because in their view, this has become a serious problem.
I think it's a problem. Education is very important when it comes to what you can do and what you can't do. Now, everybody knows speeding is an issue, and we'll deal with speeding. I spent many years in traffic in our traffic unit, and we'll take proactive measures, and we'll go to the places that we know where problems are happening, and we'll go to the places where we know traffic crashes are occurring, where fatalities are involved. And I think it's very important for us to be able to do that and look at those things holistically around our city, and look at where the problems are and go face those problems head on. And sometimes traffic citations are necessary, but education is also very important about what you should and what you shouldn't do behind the wheel of a car.
Drugs are a topic for many of the viewers who wrote in. Laura Ward is one. She said, we've had a drug group behind our house for 5 years. They're squatting. They don't own the property. How can we get them to move?
The biggest thing for her to do is, listen, again, it comes back to letting us know about it. Oftentimes, these problems are worked from our narcotics unit from more of a clandestine, I guess you would say, or undercover way of dealing with it. And sometimes when you're dealing with it, they may not know that it's happening. But unless we know about it, we have to know about it so we can go out and effectively address it. And there are ways to do that, whether it be a drug abatement response team, a DART issue. If someone's squatting that shouldn't be squatting, we make sure we pay attention to the statute. And then if they're doing illegal drugs, we find a way in to make sure we can stop them from doing that. And oftentimes it's going to be buying from them and putting them in jail.